Uh-oh. Hey guys, Randy here, and welcome aboard the Seabee Traveler channel. Uh-oh. What do we have here? That's a Marshall car. Oh, they ran over a sign. Oh no. Well, at least it was just a sign. Alright, well, today we are heading towards the really cool town of Jerome, Arizona. It's on the side of a mountain. It's cool. It's an old mining town. There's lots of old buildings to look at. There's some museums to see. And there's an open pit mine up there. And after that, we're going to drive up, and I'm going to be camping up in the hills above Jerome, Mingus Mountain. There's a campground up there I'm going to see if I can stay at.
Sweet Arizona, sweet Arizona. Her hair was fire red like red rocks in the sun. Her eyes were stained glass like blue under the glacier runs. Nowhere we're going, still don't know where she came from. La la la, la la la, la la la. Singing, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. Sweet Arizona, yeah, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough, no, I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona.
Check out this old gas station. Looks like somebody lives down below there too. But anyways, we are making our way into the town of Jerome. We've already started making our way up the hill from an old town, Clarkdale, which has ties to this because it was a town that the owner of one of the mines had built for his workers and families, that type of thing. But I'm going to focus on Jerome today because there's a lot to see and a lot to do. So yeah, let's get this journey started.
Sweet Arizona, sweeter than California, sweeter than Tennessee, sweeter than Colorado, sweeter than Georgia peach. Started with conversation, now you're here next to me. 24/7 days of sweet.
You can kind of see these streets are really, that's a really neat building there. But you can kind of see the J on the mountain up there, and these streets are really narrow like this, which is one of the things I like about this town, but it's also one of the things that I don't like. And you'll see, it's really early now, so there's not going to be a lot of people as we're driving through the town, because it's probably only 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Which I do that on purpose. A lot of you already know that, because it helps stay away from the crowds, and it's easier to walk around and not have to dodge around people. Okay, to the right here, that's the State Museum, the State Park Museum that we're going to go to a little bit later. It's not open yet. Just look at this, how narrow this is, and they have these abutments here to keep the hill from coming down. Oh, go bird, fly away. Don't want to hit a bird this early in the morning. Yeah, now we're really starting to get into the town. A lot of houses down at this end. And they've had, I'm sure we'll see some signs up here as well. But they had some fires, a couple fires that did a lot of damage each time. It's just amazing to me how they, just look at that old sidewalk over there on the right. I wouldn't imagine if you had to live here trying to back out of a garage, blindsided. You saw some mirrors back there. And I think a lot of these parking here are residents of apartments. Over here, there's hotels. Yeah, a lot of hotels. But look at this. Isn't this just so neat? It definitely has that old mining town feel from back in the late 1800s. So what I think I'm going to do is drive through the town, and there's a lookout about 5 minutes up the mountain a little ways, and it's kind of a really neat spot to take a look. You can kind of see Clarkdale down in the valley from up there. Back to two-way street. We were on a one-way street back there. But yeah, see nobody on the streets right now. Wow, look at these old buildings. Well, I saw some of them that have plaques on them too. I always like looking at those so that it gives us a little description and some dates. Wow, just look at these old buildings. And you can see there's, that's some rough road there. But you can see there's a lot of hairpin turns. So there is, so if you go up here, you get to that old hotel. I think it used to be a hospital. But yeah, there's a lot of hairpin curves. So if you're trying to, like back there, take a right, you can't do it hardly. And some places they'll have mirrors on the other side of the road so you can see if there's any traffic coming down, because you just can't see them. Yeah, there's that old hospital, or the hotel. I think it used to be a hospital up there. But yeah, we'll just drive through right now, go check out that outlook, and then we'll get back into town and walk around. It's going to be a lot of walking around, I can see. But that's okay. I really, really like doing that kind of stuff. Time goes by really fast. Look at all the stairways to get up. Oh, look at that parking spot. All these stairs to go up the hill to your house. Imagine carrying your groceries up there like that. Man. I saw a sign back there that said we're only about a half a mile to the scenic view. But this road, it will take you all the way over the mountain, through the woods, and it'll take you to your grandma's house in Prescott. But no, really, this does take you, it's a little bit of a drive. It's really scenic. You do go through the high elevation forest up there. It's a really pretty drive. And tonight where I'll be camping is up this hill a little bit farther, about 15 miles. At least that's my hopes. Oh, hey, look at that, riding a bike. Boy, on a narrow road like that would I'd be looking over my shoulder the whole way on the way down. Yep, there's our scenic view just up here on the left. And it doesn't look like there's anybody there. So we can see there, I think there's an old mine complex that used to be up here, and we'll get a pretty good view looking down the valley. So. Alrighty, here we are. Let me get parked. Let's take a quick look. Boy, this sun is right in our eyes. I thought this would be a pretty cool place to start Jerome off. Look at all that old mine up there in those tailings. Oh, I can hear water trickling down there too. There's a stream. This early morning light, it's reflecting off the light behind us, off the walls behind us. It's putting some real pretty light on those trees down there. And you can kind of see as we walk down here, that's headed off towards Jerome. The valley down below, Clarkdale. And catching these, that light is just, I like the way the light is catching those trees on those cliffs on the other side of that road. And down in that little valley, it is beautiful. On these flowers right here, I actually took a couple pictures already, but I was able to get some of these flowers. There was a bee that landed on one. You can see Clarkdale way down at the bottom of the valley down there. You can see how pretty that light is hitting those trees down in that canyon. That is gorgeous this time of the year, and especially this time of the morning. And let me see if we can come down here, get a little bit of a view, looking down that canyon into the valley in memory of Marilyn J. Smith, a hard-working woman. You can kind of see down into Clarkdale. Beautiful. I heard an owl a little bit ago up in those cliffs up there somewhere. All right, let's get out of here. What do you say? Let's go take a closer look at this old mining operation. It's just all foundations, looks like now. But wow, I've never seen it from above like this. Looks like it was a pretty big complex. Wow, look at that. Alright, so there you go. This is a really nice little place to get out, stretch your legs. I've been driving since really early in the morning from the Phoenix area. It's like a 3-hour drive to get up here. So yeah, it was getting up here early is really the key. But anyways, yeah, this is a nice little place to stop and see. If you're coming in from Prescott, it's on your way, but not too far out of town. If you want to just keep going and check that out for a quick second. But now we're gonna go find there's a new parking area, or At least it's new to me. I don't know how long it's been there, but if we take a left here at this fire station, it's a pretty big parking lot, and it's got some covered parking. It's got the solar panels on top. So I've seen it in pictures. So I'm just gonna go up there. There is parking down in the town, but I'm just gonna park up here and check out this. There's an open pit mine. We'll take a quick look at as well, and just kind of work our way back into town. I'm gonna walk down there though. Yep, still see nobody here. Won't last. Alright, well, I think I'll just pick a spot under the canopy. And then yeah, let's take a quick look at this mine, and then I'm excited to head into town. Kind of neat. I thought I saw a little trail of some sort over here. Oh yeah, right here. Look at these old shacks. Busted windows. Freeport McMoran, copper and gold. Those metal structures are cool. I think those are awesome. Big ol' open pit mine. Such history here. Here's a little bit better view of that mine. That was the United Verde mine. It still is, just owned by a different company now. But this is one of the two big mines that helped grow this whole area, the Verde Valley. Just like how far back that extends. You get a really, really good view of the Verde Valley down there. You can catch a train down in Clarkdale. Look at that, there's a mine back there too. Looks like it's still pretty active. There's a smelter down there, and then off in the distance is Clarkdale, and you'll go to Cottonwood as well. That's the direction we came in. We'll be heading down. There's a museum, that State Park Museum is down there on top of that hill. And then we get to see a really good view of Jerome from up above. That's where we'll be walking. And there's some more over here. But we're gonna get our steps in today. Gonna go check out good old Jerome, Arizona. It is, I've been driving probably since 3 o'clock this morning from the Phoenix area to get up here, and I would much rather do that. And this is a big parking lot, big free public parking lot. It looks like they even have shuttle. You can wait for shuttle over there if you want. There's RV parking here. Tours of Jerome, wine tasting, historic, haunted. Yeah, there's a lot of stories about some of these haunted buildings in Jerome. I was looking at the map, and some of these buildings even call the businesses have haunted in their name. One that comes to mind was it's called the Haunted Hamburger. Might even have to go check that one out today. It's gonna be a long day walking around. Dogs die in hot cars. I think that is that building on top of that hill is the state park. We're gonna go check that out a little bit later. It's not open yet. But like I was saying, it's probably 7 o'clock in the morning now. And it is a ghost town right now. Nobody here, which is the reason why I got up so early to come up here. And like I say, it's pretty, the sun is a little bit warm, but there's a little bit of a breeze, and when you're in the shade, it is perfect temperature. Look at that house up there. What a view they have. It's a Victorian style. Gold King Mine Ghost Town. That's back in the direction, but we go past that parking lot. We'll go take a quick look down there after we're done walking around. But I want to get the walking around done before the streets get crowded. But parking for sure. You know what? That's there's something I wanted to see. But parking is a premium for sure. You probably saw on the drive in how narrow these streets are, and there's no room for growth. They are what they are. Holy Family Catholic Church, built in 1894. Huh, maybe we'll walk up there. There's a stairway and a path. Ooh. You can take those stairs up there. Just look at this. There's old towns like this, it kind of reminds you of like one of those miniature Christmas scenes you see with a whole bunch of stairs going to different places, different areas. Upper level. Ooh, I can smell, somebody's cooking stuff already. I can smell it. Wow. Holy Family Church. We'll walk down there in a little bit, but there's something up here I wanted to see. Jerome Ghost Tours. Oh wow, there's a little park down in there. See a slide, a playground. We'll go check that out. Wicked City Pub. Oh, here's the haunted hamburger. There it is. Make our way across the street here. Jerome Hotel, 2 blocks. The Asylum. But there's your haunted hamburger. Probably will be checking that out later today. Hi, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Doing good, thanks. But this road to me is so cool. Let me show you something down here. Have to keep a watch out for traffic, but you can kind of see under here they've extended this concrete sidewalk out. It's actually part of the sidewalk. All up under there, they cantilevered it out for a walkway. It's like old paver stone road. The surgeon's house, bed and breakfast. Patio area there. That is really cool right there. Stairs going up into the vines. Wow, an old rickety gate here too. That's neat. You can see the handrail up there. The top of it's popped off of that little pilaster or that pier. It's like, what's in there? What? Yeah, I don't know where. It's like, where does that go? I can't see in there, but it's cool. Honeybees at work. I have, it's kind of like a pen pal, a friend that lives in Ukraine. So, oh hey kitty. But yeah, she lives in Ukraine, so I'm thinking about her and her family a lot these days. This is a really pretty, man, how far back does this go? It goes way up there. It goes all the way back to that hotel. Boy, what a view. What a view they have up there. Well, I don't think we'll walk all the way up there, but this gives you a good bird's eye view of the town. Like how they have that balcony in that house. It's angled to to match the road below it. That second floor balcony. Alrighty, well, let's get down into the main part of town. This life of living on a side of a mountain. Lots of stairs. But I think we'll head down here and then walk uphill. And that takes us Let's check out this park real quick. They managed to get a city park on the side of a mountain like this. It is beautiful. Nice job, Jerome. So what I was gonna say is I'll start down at the bottom and then work our way back up towards the truck. Well, these are some steep stairs. Oh, look at here. When they poured the concrete. Footstep, baby step. I thought we would, before we start heading down the main drive, let's take a quick look. This is that Holy Family Church. Built in the early or the late 1800s. Holy Family Church, built in 1894. We look at how wore down some of these are. Well, a little area for the kids to play. It's all brick construction. Foundations, concrete, and big old rock. I don't see a cornerstone anywhere. Maybe it's down here. We'll walk down this way. Wow, look how, look at that wall. It settled a little bit. They say, there's a, I have to find it, but I think there's a jail here that's sliding down the hill, slowly but surely. This is all just plaster over the brick. You can kind of see it there. Huh, how do you get to that door? There's nothing there. It's a window at this point. No cars coming. There's some public restrooms. Must be part of the fire station. Temporary bathroom parking, so you can park there just temporary to go to the bathroom. Tell you what, I'm glad they added that parking lot up there. I've been here a couple times in my life, and most of the time it's been like in the middle of the day, and it is just places like this you won't find later on. Or they'll have permit parking for businesses or homeowners. Fresh made pasta. The new state shops. Let me take a look here. This is a view and a half. Restrooms, stores, art downstairs. I'm gonna walk in the shade. It's nice and cool over here. So up here, the road kind of splits off. Look at this old building. It's stone masonry. Around the world with Nellie Bly. Looks like they added a new lentil up there. Maybe not. The other one in the middle is just wore out. Oh, here, Jenny's place. This building was originally a brothel known as Jenny's Place. It was built in 1898. Here's a picture of it. It was built in 1898 by legendary Madam Belgian Jeannie Bouters, who came to Jerome from Belgium. This was her third building on this site. The first burned down in 1897. Her second building, pictured on the left, was destroyed in the fire of 1898. So this is 86. 1896, one burned down. 1898, one burned down. Wow. So this is a newer than that, probably 1900s sometime. She was persistent. Must have been making some money. I love it when these old towns put plaques up and tell us a little bit. Here's another one. Husband's Alley. With Jerome's rough and tumble early days came the red light district and prostitutes. Much of the red light district was located on Hull Avenue, the road below Main Street. In 1913, reformers helped pass an ordinance restricting houses of ill fame from being located downtown. Citizens showed their disdain for the law by naming the alleyway from Main Street to Hull Avenue. Husband's Alley. Yeah, you want nothing downtown? Well, this is downtown. This is Husband's Alley. A brick structure that no longer exists. The ladies' jail is still currently located on the Hull Avenue in the bottom floor of the new state motor building. Oh, so that's down here. Let's go check that out real quick. That was the old stairway down. Look at that. Now they have these. So this is little side venture for the ladies' jail. Oh, maybe I can't get to it from here. Well, there's a plaque here. Let's see. Oh, nope, not there. Yeah, I can't get. Must be down here somewhere. We'll go check that out. We walk around. Look at that piece of wood buried into this concrete. That's been there for a while. Here's another one. It's like they just had filler. Wow. The new State Motor Company building was built of concrete in 1918 under the ownership of Dan Shea, a car dealership. Garage was downstairs. The building and the elevator delivered cars to the lower floor. A hole was later cut into the side of the building. Wow. Oh, this, I think, Caduceus Cellars in Merkin Vineyard. This is, when I was reading, it's not open, it's too early. I think they open at 11. Yeah, 11. But this is owned by the lead singer of the rock band Tool. Caduceus. In 2009 it was established. Wine tastings open 365 days. Oh good, there's a lot of Connor Hotel Bed and Bath. Hotel Connor. This native stone and brick building was built in 1898. Connor, Hotel Connor. David Connor, proprietor, was an Irish American who originally owned the Stone Saloon on the site of this hotel in 1897. He had a second floor, called this building the Hotel Connor. Saloons and brothels must have been where the money was. And hotels. $1 a night. There's a drive parking for somebody, used to be. There you go, Hotel Connor, 1898. Wow, this is gonna be a long day of walking. Mine Museum. One of Jerome's oldest commercial buildings was purchased by J.S. Hoover, AC coordinator in 1896. The building was restored in fire in 1898. An architect from Los Angeles built the present building. A lot of different businesses have moved into it. But it kind of looks like, yeah, it's changed a little bit because it doesn't quite look like that anymore. Because that sidewalk right there is here. So it's changed a little bit. Here's another plaque. Let's see, in 1896, one of the first wooden structures built in Jerome occupied the site and was known as the Saloon. So it survived 2 years, and it burned down in 1898, which practically destroyed Jerome. And then it was rebuilt and burned down again in 1899. And then during Prohibition, they closed it down. Mercantiles owned it. But it's this building here. They made it smaller. It was built back smaller and long and narrow. But what is this? Here's a sign, the Bartlett Hotel. Before the Bartlett Hotel, the Grandview Hotel, a wooden structure built in 1895, stood here. The first two-story building in Jerome, it had rooms for dances, dining, and sleeping. In 1898, the structure was destroyed by fire. You see where the floor joists were. What was that structure back there? Bank vault. Oh, that was a bank vault. At least that's what that little brick in the door says. We can see more downstairs, it looks like. Let's see. Boy, there's so much to see here. All right. Wow, look at that's steel. That's a steel column. There's a lot of detail for steel. Union Iron Works, Los Angeles. Wow, that's... I deal with concrete a lot. That was poured one piece. Wow. Look at this old wooden lintel. Look at those old chairs sitting over there. Wood lathe. It's now showing, is this a theater? Wow. I noticed this. The road has these brick or these pavers. They just, if that's the original road, then they just paved over it. The old 37. This truck was purchased by the town of Jerome in 1937. Alliston Steel and Phoenix built it on a 37 Dodge Brothers truck chassis. High pressure. Huh. Yeah, that picture's really hard to see. It's engraved into the plaque. I saw a plaque over here on this wall where the garden or the playground and park area is up on top there. That's where we were at up there. I wanted to see. That's a pretty tree. It's blossoming. World War II. Oh, these are World War II vets killed in combat. Wow. This site possesses national significance in commemorating the history of the United States of America. The the Jerome Historic District. Jerome, Arizona, too strong to die. The first mining claims were filed in 1876. Within 20 years, Jerome was $1 billion copper mecca. Wow. It's like an amphitheater seating area. Jerome Historical Society, the steps. Oh, look at this old drinking fountain. No, it doesn't work anymore. I wonder if anybody even uses public water fountains anymore. It's been a while since I've seen one that worked. Centrally located on Main Street in the town of Jerome, this area known as the Steps has always been a meeting and gathering place for residents. Ah, okay. The people first began arriving to work and settle here. Roads were etched into Cleopatra Hill to help facilitate movement. Jerome's first paved roads were in 1920, and the steps, as we know them today, took shape in the 1930s. A picture of, there's a donkey. Kid riding a donkey. Huh. Wow, look at that. Mules hauling loads down dirt roads. Oh, and here's some people sitting there, just had benches. Look at these old cars on that. Wow. How cool is that? That is neat. This blast furnace, look at this safe. See if you can see what this is. This is one of the 2 old furnaces found in place on the Hampton Lode, United Verde Copper. This blast furnace was in use in 1882, the smelter site at that time was where the little furnace used coke for fuel. So if you want to park in spaces like this, parking is $5. This is good for all day. Does not expire at 4 p.m. Overnight parking is allowed. So from 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock, you have to buy these tickets to park, permits. Tucked into the corner of this lot, I noticed this old thing. It's concrete. Oh, they must have just poured this up against. Oh, there's some stairs back there. A lot of bug holes back there. But what got my eye was this. Old steel doors. There's a bookshelf in there. It's really hard to see probably. See the light bulb. Lots of black around it up on the roof. There's a lot of black up around it. I wonder if it caught fire. Huh, yeah, I don't know what this was. Some brick here, replacement, brick. They just poured it up against these walls. I wonder what this was. And that's just tucked up into this corner Oh well. The things you find in Jerome. Wow, look at that old. No parking. Wonder what that was. Glass blowing studio. Victoria glass blowing studio. So you can get glass blowing or poetry demonstrations 12 to 5. Now we're kind of taking a long way around. I noticed this slab, it's rock foundation, but then I noticed along the wall over there, it's kind of hard to see, is looks like a wall, part of a building that's come down. But let's go see up here, I think was the visitor center. Oh, here's, we can get a better look at this wall. You see how old it is? There's a tree growing between the wall and the slab. It says home. That's pretty cool. That's the kind of stuff I like to see. It probably was burned down in one of those fires. They just never rebuilt it. Oh, there's some basketball courts. Oh, there's that jail down there. That's the jail that's sliding down the hill. We'll go take a look at that. But there's a visitor center for you. Not quite open yet. Let me see what this plaque says. Gold King Mine, Ghost Town. So that was down past that parking lot we stayed in. We'll drive up there. Not sure if we'll go in or not, but we'll drive down there. But if they're open, it's always a really good idea to stop by a visitor center, get some pamphlets, and it's volunteers, so they love to give information they know. I wonder, boy, how many people have walked down these stairs? Oh, there's another public drinking fountain. We'll see if that one works. Maybe we'll see how intact my immunity system is. And no go. Nothing. Let's go check out this jail. All right, let's see. Back in 1905, the town jail was in the basement of what was then the Tony Cowslarret house. What is believed to be Jerome's third jail was located in the town yard between Main Street and Hull Avenue. It pulled apart from the wood structure to which it was attached, and in the mid-30s, during the slides, it slowly crept 225 feet from its original location to settle in the middle of Hull Avenue. The road was altered to go around it. And legend has it that the jail continued to move to where it sits now, but that's kind of an urban legend. They pushed it out of the way to where it is now. Let's go take a look. So this is what a 1905 jail would look like. Now it's being supported for sure. They put some steel up there. That was part of the original structure because you can see it was concreted into the roof. Man, this whole thing slides down, it's sliding down the hill. 225 feet for this thing to slide. Wow. So they poured this slab in '88, probably to protect it, stabilize it. Ooh, look at that big old lizard. Wow. Thick. There's rock wall on the outside. Can't see much inside the jail cell. There's a bed in there I can see in that corner. Maybe from up top we can see. It looks like the door was taken out. They chiseled around there. That one's still in there. Look at that trees growing around. Look at this. It's growing around this chunk of concrete. Wow. It's been there a while, this tree and that rock. Same thing with these stairs. Let's see what we can see up here. Oh, there's another door. See if I can extend you out so you can see inside there. There you go. An old metal frame bed. There's an old electrical box, a buzzer of some sort maybe. Had a chimney too. Imagine right here, this pipe is where conduit for a light to hang over. I can just imagine it at night, a real dim bulb kind of blinking on and off. This town is haunted. Wow. All right, let's, there's some more old buildings down here. I was noticing high clouds coming in. I didn't look at the weather to see what we have coming up. My plan is to camp up in those hills if I can find a place. Especially down, people from the valley areas are going to start heading up to the hills to get out of the heat. Well, you see some old structures up there, they just were never rebuilt. Wow, look at that. Look at that shack up on that hill. See if I can get closer. There's some old stairs over there too. That's kind of cool. $1 Million View number 3. They probably had rooms like that in a lot of these, some sort of cellar, keep things cool. But I think I'm going to start heading back up the hill, and then we'll drive back down. That's towards the state park. So it still might be just a tad too early for that to be open. Yeah, it's not open yet. Wow, what a beautiful view. The valley down there. See if I can find some stairs to give me a little bit of a shortcut up that hill.
Got my boots on the gas, a map in my hand.
Hi.
Seabee Traveler's ready. We're gonna see this great land. Through ghost town echoes and highways wide, with the world in my rear view and you by my side, rolling with the traveler, free as the breeze, chasing those sunsets through the rustling trees, from starlit skies to campfires aglow. Life's an open highway.
While I'm sitting here relaxing for a second, I wanted to show you what my walking around setup looks like. I've got this dual camera harness, and what that does is it just lets me walk around without having to hold on to my camera. Then I can hold on with the GoPro or the Osmo, whichever one I'm using. And that lets me have this hand free. But yeah, it's really nice. And also the other strap, if I need to, I can just screw this in and it'll hang there too. So I like that option. So it's a nice, I'm really happy with this setup now. And also these pants, I wear these pants, they're breathable, and I have room to carry batteries, and I have room to carry snacks and wallet, stuff like that with me. So anyways, yeah, so this is what I look like when I'm out walking around. All right, I think maybe we'll head down to see what that ghost town thing's all about. Well, I tell you, it sure was nice when those clouds came over, because that dropped that temperature probably 10 degrees. It was getting a little bit warm in that direct sunlight. All right, so I think a long time ago I came to see this old ghost town, but I'm not sure if this is the one I went to or not. But we'll go up, take a look, see if it's worth going in. Look at all the side-by-sides. They went out to have some fun. This would be a really good... There's another one. And another one. And another one. Wow. It is a convoy. Wow, there's just a bunch of friends that went out there to have some fun. This would be a really cool place to go out and look at stuff like that. It's a lot cooler. You probably still have some of the dust, but like if you're going out in the desert this time of year. All right, here we are. It's just a couple minutes up the road, not too far. Well, it looks like they're heading in. Ghost Town. Oh wow, look at, there's a big old yard full of old vehicles, dump trucks. Look at that old bus with the air conditioning on top. That one's missing a roof. Wow, oh, cool. Look at that old car carrier. Wow. I've never seen one like that. That is amazing looking. Kind of looks like an old metal toy that you might see somewhere. I don't remember this if I was here. I don't remember this part of it. But it had to be 10, 15 years ago. really nice and green. This is really kind of cool. It does, look at that old building. It has that old rustic feel to it for sure. Well, yeah, I think, why not? Let's go take a walk inside. We got all day.
Wide open desert under endless blues, red rocks climbing sunlit hues, scent of sage in the desert air, seems too long when I'm not there. Towering canyons like old friends, sun kisses the land where trails bend. Back in the warmth of a fiery glow, oh, Arizona is my home. This is where my heart belongs.
All right, let's see. Here's some rules and regulations. Disclaimer, all visitors must read and accept. Just letting you know the buildings are old. A lot of stuff's old, just be careful. All right, well, I had a nice little talk with the lady that was running the cash register. Really nice. There is a lot of stuff just as you walk in that wall. A lot of stuff just sitting there. Look at that drill going in there. Wow, this is a dentist office, huh? No, thank you. There's like a foot pump down there. No way. Yeah, I don't know. First tooth $1.50 and 50 cents after. If you want a tooth filled, it's 75 cents. And replacement, $2. Wow. Get a shave here too, it looks like. Yeah, no thank you. Boy, this looks like it might find it in the dark, deep Ozarks somewhere. There's a cabin. And a rifle, and they've got a guitar. Mining sleuth down there, little. The all-important stove. Yeah, it's a little bit cooler up here. He's got his pajamas hanging up there on the with his hat. Looks like over there's like a gas mask. Wooden floors. Look at this old jalopy. Wow, this clouds kind of came in. Keep that direct sunlight off. That's kind of nice. Look at that old house up there. 1928 Studebaker Indy race car built by Don Robertson. How'd you like to race in that? Looks like a working sawmill. That's a fresh cut sawdust down there. Wow, look at this schoolhouse. No excuses. Can't hear the teacher, that's for sure. Little bulletin board. Hmm. A 1902 Studebaker electric Westinghouse motor, 48 volt, 40-mile range at 13 miles an hour. Wow. Look at that motor in the back.
This is where my heart belongs, in Arizona, singing songs. Feel the spirit in the sand. I'm back in my homeland. From the Grand Canyon to Sedona's light, cactus shadows in the twilight. Morning breaks with a rosy dawn. Feels so good to be back home.
How cool is that? I didn't see the path to come up here. The last remaining house of 60 homes on this site, called Haines, Arizona, occupied till 1959 by Petra, who was 105 years old when she moved to Prescott to live another 3 years. Wow. Wow. Yeah, this definitely seems like it should be haunted. Two-story even. The chicken wire with the vines growing on it adds even more to it. I also noticed a shack over there. Well, bed springs up along the bottom there. Wow. This actually gives you a good view of the whole ghost town. It was really cool. Glad I came here. Well, this is a pretty cool place. You can hear the birds chirping. It's really quiet, not a lot of people here right now. It's pretty nice. Alright, well, I think it's time to head out. Well, this is a pretty neat little stop, like the bus. Some sort of mule or something. Couple. It's a fancy schoolie, huh? It's got windows on top. Ooh, I forgot to put my, look at that, I forgot to put my GoPro away. Well, what a neat place. It is quiet. You can hear the birds are pretty loud, especially echoing off of these hills. That was a fun place. It's good to take kids to. You can look at some of the exhibits. They do actually have a couple of animals in there that you can kind of just look at. I think you can probably pet them. They were in a little bit corral. I just didn't show that. But it was fun. Really enjoyed my time there. There you go. Looks like an old west town up in the hills. Lots of cottonwood trees around. And it was really peaceful with you could hear those birds chirping away. Yeah, it's kind of neat. Happy with it. All right. Let's get down to the State Park Museum. That's going to be really neat. It's in a really cool building too. Well, parking lot's starting to fill up a little bit. Yeah, still a little early, so it's not quite as full. We'll stop back by after we're done with that State Park Museum. We'll come back by just to see how full it gets. Have a feeling it'll be pretty full. And this will give us a little bit of an idea as well how busy the town is getting. See, any little spot people can find to park, they'll do it. Yeah, it looks way busier now. You can kind of see all these individual parking spots down here taken up. You'd have to get real lucky to find one. And you did see down when we were walking around that they have those ticket dispensers so that you can get a permit to park in certain places. But like I said before, where we were at, it's free up there. So this is where it begins the one way. It's still such a cool town to drive through. Traffic's backed up a little bit because we're waiting on groups of people to cross. Yep. You're welcome.
All we need is a place to be and a few good friends for some company. If you'd like to stay, you don't have to leave. We'll leave the lights on and the door unlocked. If you drop on by, you don't have to knock. We're happy to share whatever we've got.
Uh-oh. Looks like she's handing out a ticket. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Make sure you park where you're supposed to park and have a permit if you need one. Oh, there was a shuttle we just passed. I wasn't sure if that was or not, but pretty nice shuttles. It is a nice day to go walk your dog, that's for sure. With that sun out, or the sun behind those clouds, it is really, really nice temperature right now. Well, we're pretty close to getting out of the main part of town, and the turnoff to that state park's just down the road, so I'm just gonna sit back and let the camera roll for a little bit, enjoy the ride to the park.
A girl there in the bright side of a dream. Sweet Arizona, sweet as I had ever seen. Listening to Rolling Stones and rolling in the deep. La la la, la la la, la la la. Drove out to Malibu, got lost along the way. Wound up in Mexico and thought we'd never stay. Cold drinks and hot beaches, we danced the night away. La la la, la la la, la la la. Singing, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. Sweet Arizona, yeah, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough, no, I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Her hair was was fire red like red rocks in the sun. Her eyes were stained glass like blue under the glacier runs. Nowhere we're going, still don't know where she came from. La la la, la la la, la la la. Singing, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. Sweet Arizona, yeah, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough, no, I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Sweeter than California, sweeter than Tennessee, sweeter than Colorado, sweeter than Georgia peach. Started with conversation, now you're here next to me. 24/7 days of sweet. In Arizona, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. But I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. No, I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. Sweet Arizona, yeah, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. No, I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona.
All right, we're just about there. Be interested to see how many people are here because it is a little. I mean, it has been open for a little bit. It's not super late in the day. Well, the top parking looks pretty. There's a spot there, but I think I'll drive. Yeah, I think I'll just drive down to the bottom part. Let somebody else have that one. Well, you get a good view of Jerome from here, that's for sure. And then where we're gonna go park, it looks like we'll have a good view of that Verde Valley down there too. Lots of parking down here, so it's not too busy. Looks like a good spot. All right, let's do this. This is a really good view. And that big old open pit mine up there is where we parked. Such a unique old town. All right, let's head in. This is a state park. Ages 14 plus, $10. 7 through 13, $5. And under 7 is free. You can get a pass for $200. These are gorgeous. Look at that. Little picnic area. Uh-oh. Got a really good, when I was in Bisbee. That's what this town reminds me of a lot. Just a smaller version of Bisbee. But when I was there, I went on a mine tour. That was, actually took a little train ride inside the mine. That was really cool. Should go check that one out. All right, let's go pay. Oh, they've got a little chunk of petrified wood. 654 pounds. All right. If you are a veteran and live in Arizona, you can get half price. Look at this old camera. Wow, it's a panorama camera. Had a swing lens. Oh, so they would move the lens to get the panorama. 1843. Wow. Right off the bat, I'm interested. $1 for those brownies. Huh. All right, here's some photography. Yep. And outdoor exhibits are over here. Wow. 18-horse mule team. It's the Verde Valley. 1916. The ranger was telling me this house was built in 1916. 80,000 adobe bricks. And the owner of the mine, he didn't live here permanently, but he let the executives, like the engineers, the general manager, they used this. This was a house that they could all stay in and let their relatives come visit, that type of thing. And also that he was telling me that siren we heard usually meant like a shift change for workers or lunch time for workers. And they would, I think it was 8 o'clock or 8:30, and then at night, that siren went off and let all the women and children know they had to head home because the miners were going to be coming in and taking the town. 1920. Trying to decide. Well, let's do the outside exhibits. In memory of our grandfather, James Douglas, father, James Douglas, uncle, Walter Douglas. Wow. Jerome State Historic Park. Yeah, he said that they just cleaned this whole bluff off, flattened it out, started building. 80,000 adobe bricks, and this is the largest still standing structure, adobe structure in Arizona. So it looks like they had a horse, and there's a garage area down there. We'll walk down there. The planter up above that door. All right, let's see here. This is gonna be tough to read. It gives you Mingus Mountain. Hopefully somewhere up in these hills is where I'll be staying tonight. So Douglas, the guy who had this built, he owned the Little Daisy mine, which is interesting because this is the Little Daisy mine with head frames. It's just, as we walk around, you'll see it better. And then there's a hotel, which is that building up on the hill. So that was built in 1918 to 1938. Then that big hill with the J, that's Cleopatra Hill. There's the Holy Family Catholic Church. We went by there. The United Verde Mine, that's where that parking area is up there that we were at. Wow. Get these milling stones. Just have a mule go around in circles. Here's another one. The Gravity 5 stamp mill. Arastra. Spanish device borrowed from the ancient Middle Eastern threshing floor. And Chilean wheel. Edge runner or chili mill. Its name has nothing to do with its origin. The device was first used thousands of years ago on Middle Eastern farmers to crush olives and oilseed. So they used it for crushing of dry ore. Man, imagine those 5 stamps crushing ore. That's got to be loud. You see like a cam up there that lifts those big old rods, powered by that big wheel. And that had to be loud. Let's see, 1853, gravity stamp mills were run by steam and later by gas-powered engines. So they just repurposed that whole idea for mining. Sanitation car. The sanitation car. Want to guess what this was used for? Yeah, we saw one of those. And they had it right down into those big old caverns where they were drilling. If you had to go to the bathroom, that's where you went. You might be sitting right next to a guy drilling. A cart to ride in on. That's a little bit better than the one in mine in Bisbee. You kind of had to sit in line on like a seat that was in the middle of the cart. The mines that made the town. So down here, Little Daisy, let's see, the Little Daisy Hotel up there. And the Little Daisy mine with head frames. And there. And the United Verde again, that's up on that flat area where that open pit mine was. And then the Montana Hotel. Let's see, built in 1900 by Senator Clark, owner of the United Verde mine. This hotel provided housing for the hundreds of mine workers. The impressive colonial style structure was destroyed in 1915. That's why I couldn't see it. That's the mine head right there for this Little Daisy mine. Slusher hoist. The slusher consisted of a scraper and a double drum hoist. So this is how you would go down to, I think the engineer, if I remember what that sign said, that's the engineer shack down below, kind of runs along that road and into that building. So this was a little walkway, stairway to get down there. Interesting. Depression era mine yard. Let's see, Sunshine Hill view. Also, those homes over there were the mine executive homes. Electrical substation is what that square building is down there. You can see it looks like conduits, cables, or something coming out of the sides. And the assay office here. So he had this house made right there, still there, with the two roofs. He had that made for his son for a wedding gift. In Daisy Town, piles of rocks are all that remain of the foundations of 30 homes built in by the Hispanic miners who worked at Little Daisy Mine. So down in there you can kind of see foundations. Well, let's go back inside. Wow, look at that piano, square grand piano, circa 1849. Wow. Looks like a library. Oh, well, look at that lamp. That lamp is really nice. I had a radiator heater, a fireplace there. Here's the guy that had it built. He was born in Bisbee. Lewis Douglas and Winston Churchill. Wow. It's a little family history over here. James Stewart Douglas, Rawhide. In front of the Edith shaft, Little Daisy Mine, Jerome. James Douglas. So he was the owner. Like many people, James Douglas disagreed with the policies of Franklin Roosevelt. In fact, he disagreed so strongly that in 1939 he renounced his U.S. citizenship and returned to Canada. Huh. The Douglas Griffin. This griffin from Great Britain's House of Commons survived the enemy bombing at Westminster in World War II and was taken down when the Victoria Tower was repaired. It was presented to Honorable Lewis Douglas, American Ambassador to Great Britain. Well, so that was part of the House of Commons. Oh, look. You can kind of see him on the corner there. He said when he kind of ran into another good vein of ore. Yeah, this is the library that we looked at earlier. but he ran into a good vein of copper. So after that, he built this house a year later. Kitchen. They have it's part of the original cabinets. Wow, look at this. This icebox remains in its original location in the Douglas kitchen. The Fountain Saloon. The Liberty Building. So that's where that Liberty Theater was. I think that's where that was. Servants' call bell. It said servants lived here all year, all the time. What's this? Carbonator. Carbonators were used to make carbonated water for soft drinks. The set of switches and light controlled the central vacuum system. This was a bedroom. Oh, they have a fluorescent display. These are kind of cool. I've seen a couple of these. Oh, it's kind of hard to see on this camera, isn't it? Wow, you can see how everything just kind of, the different types of ores light up. Purple, orange, green. Wow. Dry assay. You got scales, a furnace. Look at that scale, that is fine-tuned there. And then you have your safe. And look at that. Barite rose. Wow. Tubular calcite. Tabular calcite. Volcano blew up, ash fall, erosion. It's a little timeline of how rocks are built. And there's a theater in here you can watch stuff. Well, it looks like it should be in an aquarium or something. It's the Montana, built in 1900. It was fire gutted in 1915, and the remains were blasted with dynamite. At the time, it was Arizona's largest and most luxurious hotel. Yeah, that would be nice. Look at that thing. Wow. Say video presentation in there. Oh, look at this. Jerome town limits. Jerome. Sunshine Hill. Oh, that's where we saw where the Hispanics, Mexicans built their huts or their buildings. A little daisy shaft right there. Cleopatra Hill, and then all the business district up there. And then check this out. That is that was the mine system underneath Jerome. Wow. Audrey shaft, either 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 feet. Wow. And the main ore body, it's like a honeycomb. It looks like a ant colony, doesn't it? That's just cool how they have the town up above, and then you can see how the mine was down below. Wow. Railroad tunnel. There's a big mine there. And then this is the other mine, the United Verde pit. So this is that big pit that we saw parked by. .500 level service tunnel. This level 2250, final depth 4630. Holy cow. And all that had to be brought up to the top and processed. It's just so impressive. That gives you a good idea what's underneath Jerome. Holy cow. Could they have water tanks or something up here? Wow, the total of 9,708,000, almost 9,709,000 tons of ore, 674 million pounds of copper, 20 million ounces of silver, 689,000 ounces of gold, which at that time was approximately $100 million. Jerome, slipping down the hill? Question mark. Many homes were completely destroyed. Jerome was located on the slope of Cleopatra Hill. Under the surface are several geologic faults. The tunnel blasting started aggravated an already precarious situation. So you can kind of see here they call like the Haynes fault, the Verde fault. So with all those fault lines as they're blasting tunnels and disrupted everything and caused some surface problems. Main Street widened by 20 feet and had to be hauled in, temporary boardwalks. Water and sewer lines were slowly twisted like pretzels. Gone. T.F. Miller Company garage once shared a common wall with the Scott McMillan mortuary. The mortuary eventually slid away. So you got going, gone. Oh man. I'm really, really, really impressed with this. That's just amazing. So you got a post office. Got some, I just love old photographs of towns like this. To see how much has changed. Lots of fires. And that's what happened a lot to a Tombstone. A lot of the fires, a lot of the buildings were destroyed and rebuilt. Tombstone because of fires. Look at that 1912 Indy in Clarkdale, Arizona. United Verde Hospital, built in 1894, destroyed in a fire. So that was a hospital and remodeled as a hotel. More stuff up here. Wow. What is this? Redwood pipe. Wow, that's a pipe. Got some dynamite, explosives. I'm drilling straight up. Some of these were called widow makers, if I remember right, from that tour down in Bisbee. "13 years old." Preston Sands made this when he was 13 years old. Wow. It's talented. He did that in 1990. I bet he went on to have a career of some sort of modeling. Yeah, I didn't even know Jerome had a narrow gauge. Verde Tunnel and Smelter Railroad Company. Yeah, with this you don't even think about the railroad. Wow, this is even more involved. Look at this. A bathroom. Look at all that counter space, all the cabinet space. Wow. It's like a hospital. And this is all adobe structure. Well, that's it for up here. Let's head back down. This is where we started off. All right, I think let's get out of here. Well, thank you. Okay. Ooh, feels good out here. I don't know. Let's take a walk over here. I don't think they have any type of air conditioning in there. I mean, the house, of course, was built it's 1916. It's a copper with a J on it. Is that an old pick handle or what? Wow. Hey, here's another, it works. It actually works. Oh, that's actually tasted good. It's the first water I've drank out of a fountain in, it's got to be years and years. All right. All right, I'll grab something to eat, and then I think we're gonna head back through town and see if we can't find a camp spot up there. And then we'll head down Clarkdale. Kind of feels weird. Kind of feels weird trying to find a camping spot so early in the day. I'm used to scrambling. All right, let's go. All right, let's get one last look of the beautiful town of Jerome. That's Cleopatra Hill with the J on it. And you can see that old hospital they turned into a hotel just at the bottom of that. That's the State Museum that we were in. The bottom of the screen. Just look at all that tailings. And you get another really good look down in the Verde Valley from up here. There's a smelter down there. You can see Clarkdale. Way off in the distance, you can see Cottonwood. Just gorgeous down there. And then this is Mingus Mountain Wilderness. That's where I'll be headed up to see if I can find a place to camp. I know there's a campground, but maybe just out in the forest somewhere. All right, well, it's been a fun day in Jerome. Got to see a couple museums. Now it's yeah, it's kind of exciting. I'm gonna go try and find a camp spot, and there's still daylight. So I do know there's a campground up there. I think it's Buttercup, something like that. But this is a busy weekend, so I may not find a spot in there. I don't have one reserved. So, but I do know they have some first come first serve. So we'll see how lucky I am. And you're also gonna get to see how busy the town gets. Earlier when I was walking around, there was hardly anybody on the streets. It was starting to get a little bit busy as we were finishing up. But yeah, you're gonna see now how really busy that street can get. It's just gonna be a drive-through, but just from that, you're gonna get a really good idea of why you should come here early, get a good parking spot. You know, and maybe we'll even take a drive into that parking lot I was in, that big one, just to see how, so I can show you how full that one gets too.
Got my boots on the gas, a map in my hand. Seabee Traveler's ready, we're gonna see this great land. Through ghost town echoes and highways wide, with the world in my rear view and you by my side, rolling with the traveler, free as the breeze, chasing those sunsets through the rustling trees, from starlit skies to campfires aglow. Life's an open highway where we're bound to go. Oh, the canyon winds whisper and the mountains call, through valleys and deserts we've seen it all. Every mile's a story, every turn's a surprise. Epic views ahead under these endless skies. Rolling with the traveler, free as the breeze, chasing those sunsets through the rustling trees, from starlit skies to campfires aglow. Life's an open highway where we're bound to go. We'll stay in a place where the camping is free. Wake to the dawn, hear the freedom ring, with every star that lights our way. The road keeps calling, it's where we'll stay. Saw a ghost town fading in the desert dust. Every cracked in creek told a tale of rust. We keep rolling through the world so wide. The Seabee Traveler spirit is our lifelong guide. Rolling with the traveler, free as the breeze, chasing those sunsets through the rustling trees, from starlit skies to campfires aglow. Life's an open highway where we're bound to go. Yeah, yeah. We'll stay in a place where the camping is free. Wake to the dawn, hear the freedom ring, with every star that lights our way. The road keeps calling, it's where we'll stay.
All right, you see what I mean? Not a parking spot to be found here. Well, if you remember this morning, I think I was just one or two cars. I was sharing it with the that shuttle van. But yeah, even in the RV parking over here, people are parked in 2 or 3. And if you don't remember what it was like about 6:30 this morning, here's a little reminder. It was bearing up. Wow. You're gonna, and this is a good comparison. 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning versus noon. But the downside is for me coming early is a lot of the shops aren't going to be open, restaurants. But I'm not a big shopper anyways. I mostly just like to come look at the buildings, the old buildings. But so yeah. So for me it doesn't matter. But if you like to come look at shops, you're gonna have to come a little bit later. Maybe get up here early and park and take the shuttle in or something. But anyways, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a comparison just so you kind of see. And you saw those people walking down the streets, having to wait. Sometimes you have to wait for 2 or 3 groups of people to cross the road. And that's where they have the speed limit. I think it's like 15 miles an hour in spots, if I remember right. All right, well, we'll take a right here, and this will take us up the mountain. We get up into some pine trees. See, hopefully if I can get lucky, I'll get a camp spot. Otherwise, there's some forest roads up there. I can try and find something. But be honest with you, it'd be kind of nice to find a campground, a spot in that campground to stay. Yep, nobody crossing here. All right. All right, yeah, so it's just going to be up the hill, probably about 15, 20 miles. I think they said it's about a 20-minute drive, probably like 15 miles. So another thing I was going to mention before I forget is I have a website. It's seabeetraveler.com, and on there I have a way to post more of my pictures, and they're from way back when, before I was doing any YouTube. Some of them might be, but most of them are going to be older pictures, and I just wanted a way to put those out so that you guys can see some of the pictures I take as well, because I don't have a lot of time and options to put them on here, basically. So I do like to take a lot of pictures, and a lot of times you guys don't see a lot of the pictures that I take. I'll put a link in the description, and that way you just click on that, it'll take you straight to my site. But it's a good way to get pictures out there, or just stuff that you guys can see that I don't get on the videos. So it is still a work in progress. So, but anyways, yeah, go check it out. seabeetraveler.com. Feels good out there. We're getting some good elevation. I saw a sign back there a little ways saying 6,000 feet, but we're probably up around close to 6,800, 7. Now, Prescott is only about, I think it's like 35 miles or so from Jerome to downtown Prescott, but it's like an hour drive, a little less than an hour, because you can see it gets kind of, there's some hairpin curves. It's a beautiful drive, but it's a little bit slower just because of the hairpins. But anyways, my campground, I'm hoping to stay at, it's a potato patch campground. I think earlier I said Buttercup. Well, look at that. We're 7,023 feet. It's just right here. We'll take a right, and I think it's just a little bit of a drive down to the campground. Oh, there's one of those cell phone towers with looks like a tree. And yeah, I've got cell reception here. Looks like I'm about 3 bars. Cattle guard. They must have grazing. Maybe that, yeah, must have grazing up here or something. Entering fee site. Alright, let me see here. Entering fee site. There's a little parking area. It must be a trailhead right there. Pay self-service station. Let's see. Let me see what it says. And yeah, I'll be right back. It just said to go see if you can find a spot. See if you can find an empty post with no reserve sign on it. So we'll go do that, and then if I find a spot, no, let's go straight. Let's go find my spot first. To the right is a RV camping area. I'm gonna go see if I can find a spot, and then I'll have to occupy it and then run back up and pay for it. Some pretty nice spots. There's a lot of people camping in tents. Nope, I see reserved. Reserved. Uh-oh. It's pretty full. I see a lot of empty spots, but people are probably just coming up this evening for the weekend. Oh, hold on. I think I found one. Let me check real quick. Yeah, I stopped and I asked. There was a nice lady that was camping right next to that one, and she said the people that were there the night before had left. So yeah, I think I got lucky. I put some stuff out on a picnic table to claim it. So now I think we'll just take a quick little drive through, show you the rest of the campground. And you could see right across from where I was, there was a restroom. Here's a second restroom. There's a lot of tents, but there's also campers up here. I saw a small trailer. Yeah, it's going to be really nice. I need a good night's rest because my next video, we're heading down to Clarkdale. Check out a really cool copper museum. Never been there, but I've heard about it. There's a train station and some old ancient ruins that are down there as well. So it's going to be another fun day. You're not going to want to miss that one. All right, well, that's the campground we're going to be staying at. But let's go take a look real quick at the RV camping. It has hookups, I believe. Let's take a quick drive through there. I didn't check into that too much because I knew I'd be staying in the tent area. All right, so this is known, there's the camp host, and that's the way to get back out. But this is known as Loop B. There's 12 sites, and they do offer 30 amp hookups. So, and the Loop A, where I'm going to be staying, there's no electric hookups available. Yeah, there's only 12 sites, so this is a really small one. If you want to stay here, you're going to have to reserve it, would be my guess. Just pull a lot of pull-through sites. Here's this restroom. Now the restrooms are they're composting restrooms, so there's no water in there. They do have potable water, but just for drinking. You can't fill up your campers, your reservoirs with them. So, all right, that's it. For some reason, I don't have good cell service right here. My bar's dropped, so I don't know, maybe it's hit and miss. All right, well, let me make a left here. We got to go get our site paid for. And yeah, I'm going to just enjoy getting here in daylight hours. Maybe I can even get a quick nap in. All right, there's the pay booth. Let me get parked here, and then we'll pay up. So I'll meet you back at the campsite. Well, looky here. It feels so good to be camping in the afternoon. I got lucky. I think I got lucky here. It is in the shade. It is probably 65 degrees. It feels so nice. Nice little camping ring. There's no fire restrictions. But if it's a little windy, keep it down. I'm not going to be lighting a fire. Got a picnic table. And with the restrooms across the street, there's potable water. And you can drink that water coming out of the faucet. And then there's a dousing bucket too. So you can go to bed. Make sure you douse your fire before you go to bed. Basic forest camping rules. All right. Not bad for 18 bucks. Sleeping bag's calling me. I'm so tired from walking around all day today. All right, well, that's going to do it from Jerome, Arizona. Amazing, amazing place. So if you're ever in this part of Arizona, make sure you take some time to stop by here. You won't regret it. But anyways, I'm going to sign off, and just remember, never say goodbye. Always see you later.